So we finally got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and with that, it adds a new trilogy to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So in this video, I'm going to be ranking all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe trilogies, going from the bottom to the top. So let's get to it. Alright, so we have a total of 5 Marvel Cinematic Universe trilogies. Now, this video is only going to consist of specifically trilogies. So, like Thor, Avengers, things like that are not included in this list. This is specifically for franchises in the MCU that have 3 movies to their name. So the way I kind of did this ranking was I ranked all of the movies that are in the trilogy. So, there's 5 trilogies, a total of 15 movies. So I ranked all those movies from the bottom to the top. Then I gave each one of those movies, based on where they're at in the ranking, I gave them a numbered score, and then added those total scores up, and then whichever one has the highest score is going to be at the top, and of course whichever one has the lowest score is going to start off at the bottom. So let's go ahead and get into this ranking. Alright, coming in at the bottom with a score of 13 points is going to be Ant-Man and the Wasp trilogy. This consists of the first Ant-Man movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Like I said, this one has a score of 13 points. I like this franchise, or this trilogy, and I think it does some good things, but it definitely is on a lower end, lower tier of movies, or at least towards the middle of the pack when it comes to like MCU movies for me. I still enjoy them, like I said, I still enjoy them, but there's definitely a lot more other movies that are better than these movies. I do like how the first one was able to introduce us to this character of Ant-Man and some other characters, and Ant-Man and Wasp was good too, and Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania was also good in its own right, and introducing us to the big bad of the MCU going into the future of Kang, introducing us to that big bad. So I think this is a good franchise, a good trilogy. I still enjoy it. I still like some of the movies in there, but it's definitely on the lower end when it comes to some of these other trilogies. Moving on to the next trilogy with a score of 16 points is going to be the Iron Man trilogy. Now this one is a little bit lower compared to some of the other trilogies, and it's just because Iron Man 3, I kind of don't like Iron Man 3 that much, so it's definitely lower tier on the bottom for me when it comes to rankings. I know a lot of people don't like Iron Man 2, but actually I do like Iron Man 2 for the most part. I like that movie. Like, I enjoy it still. So I like it, even though other people might not like it. And Iron Man, the first Iron Man movie, is kicking off the MCU. Did such a great job kicking off the MCU, giving us that first movie. Definitely a great origin movie too for the character of Iron Man. This Iron Man still remains one of my top movies, maybe even my top 10, I think, for MCU. So it's definitely high up on my list when it comes to ranking. But the reason why the Iron Man trilogy is lower ranking compared to other trilogies is just because the way I rank Iron Man 3 and then Iron Man 2 is a little bit lower too. But the first Iron Man movie is what pushes it over the edge a little bit to at least put it at this spot on the ranking. Coming up next in the ranking is going to be the Captain America trilogy. This one I gave a score of 28 points. So this one really did jump up compared to like the Iron Man and Ant-Man movies. This one really jumps up. And it really speaks to the reason why it jumps up so much. There's like a difference in score. Is really because the Captain America trilogy honestly is really solid, is really great. Really the 2 movies that really are high tier that I put both of these movies in, basically in my top 10 for MCU ranking, is Captain America Winter Soldier and Captain America Civil War. Those are 2 phenomenal movies that I put in within the top 10 of the MCU. So those are 2 reasons why it has a higher score. Captain America, the First Avenger, is a solid movie also. I have grown to like it more over the years, but it is definitely towards the middle of the pack for me when it comes to ranking MCU movies. But like I said, the thing that pushes Captain America trilogy over this high in the difference of score is definitely those 2 high movies of Civil War and Winter Soldier. Like I said, I put those movies in my top 10 of the MCU. Coming in at the number 2 spot is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy. This one had a score of 30 points. Really, this one is a solid franchise when it comes to across all 3 movies. When it comes to like kind of ranking these 3 movies, I would probably put Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 at the bottom. And then Guardians of the Galaxy, the first movie, is the next one, and then this recent Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Such a solid franchise, solid trilogy when it comes to movies. I enjoyed every single one of these movies in the trilogy. I think they're awesome. They're great. solid movies when it comes to a trilogy, and you know, capping off this finale that we got with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, such an emotional roller coaster, such a devastating movie that we got, but it still was a happy ending in a way, and still a phenomenal movie, I gotta say. So that's why Guardians of the Galaxy the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy is ranking at this spot. And coming in at the top spot with a score of 31 points, you can see how some of these trilogies are very close when it comes to these top three. But coming in at the top spot with a score of 31 points is going to be the Spider-Man trilogy, the MCU Spider-Man trilogy, with Tom Holland. When it comes to these movies, I think they're phenomenal. You know, Spider-Man No Way Home, one of the recent ones that we got, came out, and it's still within my probably top 5 MCU movies. Homecoming gave us not necessarily an origin story, but like, you know, bringing this character into MCU, and did such a great job with, you know, giving us this Spider-Man story, and basically giving us this story, and you know, telling a great high school story too, and giving not necessarily introducing us to his character. Well, yeah, kind of introducing us to his character, but it didn't really set up it wasn't set up as an origin movie. So I gotta say they did a great job with it. And Far From Home is kind of not lower tier, but it's kind of middle of the pack for me. I didn't enjoy it as much as the other two, but I still think it's a solid movie. You know, the way I look at it is this trilogy is basically like an origin story when it comes to Spider-Man, and in the MCU, like, we have these 3 movies, and it almost acts like a sort of origin story, you know, if you watch them across all 3 movies, and then getting No Way Home, just the way that it sets up stuff, and it kind of acts as like a full-on origin story across these 3 movies that we get for Spider-Man. And I think this trilogy is a solid one. Like I said, it's like very tight-knit when it comes to the scores between these top 3, so it just speaks to how great these movies are. But coming at the top spot is going to be the Marvel Cinematic Universe Spider-Man trilogy for me, narrowly getting that top spot in there. But let me know down in the comments below if you could rank all of the trilogies, how would you rank them? But that's going to do it all for this video. Hope you all enjoyed it. Remember, if you want to be part of Team Legendary, all you got to do is subscribe and turn notifications on so you know when I post another video. Hope you all have an awesome day. And remember, be legendary.